Number 11 asks us to determine the constant term in the expression of 2 over x squared plus x raised to the ninth. So keep in mind when I talk about a constant term, what I mean is it'll have no variable in it. If that has no variable, what that is going to look like is whenever we are doing our expansions, we are going to have this term raised to a power multiplied by this term raised to a power. Because we are going to be multiplying these terms together, we're going to, in this one, basically is over 1. We need these these exponents to be the same so that they can cancel each other out. Also, something else to note, when I have 2 over x squared raised to any power, that power will go to the 2 and will also go to the x squared, but we'll multiply by this exponent that's already attached to our x. So I need to have 2 over x squared multiplied by x to some degree, and these exponents need to add up to be 9. So you could think about it as, okay, 8 and 1 would have, this would make the x squared stay x squared because x squared times, or 2 times 1 is still 2. And this will be x to the 8th. So if I were to write that out, that would still be x to the 8th and x squared. Those are not going to be the same. But if this was a 2 instead and a 7, then we would have x to the 4th in the denominator and x to the 7th. Those still don't match. Now if this was a 3 instead, let me write that out. And if this was a 6 instead, that still adds to 9. 3 times 2 gives me 6 and x to the 6th. So then I'll have 2 to the 3rd over x to the 6th times x to the 6th. And we will have a leading coefficient. Because these x to the 6th match, they'll actually cancel each other out, which will give us that constant. So I know for sure that I will be using 3 and 6. Again, you just have to do trial and error to make sure, because you could do 8 and 1, that won't work, 7 and 2, that won't work, and then 6 and 3 did in fact work. So I need to figure out what my constant is going to be. In order to do that, I will say NCR, where N is 9, and our R could be 3 or 6. I'll use 3. So I can say 9 math, scroll over to probability, down to NCR, 3. And if I had instead of using 3, if I had used 6, we would have gotten that same answer. So it'll be 84 is that coefficient. So 84 times, since those canceled each other out, that's now 2 to the 3rd over 1, or just 2 to the 3rd. So 84 times 2 to the 3rd. That gives us 672, which is our constant because our x's canceled each other out. For number 12, it says find the coefficient of a to the 8th, b to the 4th in the expansion of a plus b to the 12th. So for this one, because there's no number attached to a or b, all we need to do is NCR in the calculator, where n is what came from the original, which is 12, and what we're looking for would be 8 or 4. So 12, press math, scroll over to probability, down to NCR, and put in 8. You'll get 495. If I had instead chosen to use 495 as well. Because remember, Pascal's triangle has that symmetry on it. So we've got our coefficient will be 495.